I'm going to piss some people off and give the answer to the question, is Amtgard a live action role playing game at the start? The answer is yes. By literal interpretation of LARP, it's a LARP. When you step out onto the field, you are playing a live action game. You have abilities based on class or role. If you take the wizard class, you are playing a wizard. You are playing a live action role. Now, it's not fair just to end the conversation right there. That would make for one short video. Even that simple definition has its detractors. It just doesn't meet their expectations, but that's the key, isn't it? Their expectations. The question, is Amtgard a LARP, has more to do with a person's expectations than any kind of literal definition. When it comes to what people expect out of a LARP, it can vary wildly. For some people, the chance to use the abilities outside of their normal lives is enough to make them feel like they are playing in a LARP. On the other end of the spectrum, some people need more engagement. They need character interactions beyond combat, interactions they often expect to be combined with some sort of organized story. Amtgard can have both light RP elements and heavy RP elements. They can vary wildly from park to park and region to region. From my experience, the most common chance to roleplay comes from playing class battle games as your character class. It's a player versus player type game, more like League of Legends than Skyrim. That is the light RP I am talking about. But on the other end, there can be heavier RP experiences called quests. When you play in a quest, you have the chance to take on a deeper persona, more than just playing class. You can more accurately roleplay a character. A well written quest will have non combat elements, either through problem solving or interacting with non player characters. This will let players express themselves as a character. In a quest, there will also be combined elements, and in some cases, situations where you can roleplay your way out of combat. A well written quest will have non combat elements, either through problem solving or interacting with non player characters. This will let players express themselves as a character. In a quest, there will also be combat elements, and in some cases, situations where you can roleplay your way out of combat. I believe this is what many people expect when they think of a LARP. When it comes down to the question, is Amtgard a LARP, it comes down to what people put into the game. Inventive people will write up personas and maybe imagine they are in some sort of world where everyone is immortal and fighting for the right to exist. They will take the little chances to roleplay their character in a battle game, maybe by how they play their character, being aggressive or passive, honorable or dishonorable. Even in the light RP games, there is a chance to roleplay. It's all in how you view it. However, for some people, that won't be enough. Longer, more engaging RP elements beyond the light roleplay aspects can be harder to find. Unlike LARPs such as Alliance or Dystopia Rising, Amtgard is a weekly game. Writing and running a full-blown quest every week is a lot of work and just isn't likely to happen. Amtgard is not built to be like other heavy roleplay LARPs. It's a fine balance, and as I mentioned, it can vary by region. Ideally, there is some sort of balance. Take my local park, for example. We have something called encounters, which are run about once a month, sometimes twice. There are many quests that often have connected stories. This gives people a chance for more obvious roleplay. We also have the occasional full-blown quest, but these are less frequent. Mostly it is just battle games. For me, this is a reasonable balance for Amtgard. It gives people a roleplay outlet, but also lets people just battle game. Then there are camping events. Some events, such as Pacific War, are usually just battle games, tournaments, and ditching, which I understand doesn't give much room for roleplay. Although, you can always roleplay a character in the time between activities and into the night. When I was younger, I sought out other interested people and we initiated our own RP. It was fun. On the other end of the spectrum, there is the event I run, Shattered Kingdoms, which is a Thursday through Sunday story driven event. The event is situated in its own evolving world with its own lore. There is an overreaching story for 4 years. Each year in those 4 years feeds into the overall narrative. The actual event format is a themed battle, which leads into a quest, that leads into a themed battle, which leads into more questing. Throughout the whole event, you only have one life. To come back to life, you have to be resurrected. It's a roleplay heavy event. In the end, the answer to is Amtgard a LARP has more to do with how people want to play the game. It can certainly be a LARP, the rules are there for everyone to use them how they want. It can be as basic as non-class battle games such as ditching, or as complicated as a multi-day roleplay event. Amtgard has something for just about everyone. The rules are there, it's up to you to use them.